Hi, I'm Larry London, and this is Border Crossings. On today's show, I'll be joined by singer-songwriter Leslie Cours Mather, whose newest CD was inspired by her own personal struggles. I'm a Survivor was the result of her daughter's cancer diagnosis, her father's death, and her own health issues. The new CD was produced by Denny Deonte, who has worked with B.B. King, Barbra Streisand, Tina Turner, and many more. Leslie says the album is a collection of different genres, and she likes it that way. She has recorded 5 albums in the past 3 years and is working on a new holiday CD. Coming up, Leslie Cours Mather performs and opens up about the new CD. On today's Border Crossings, stay tuned. Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. On today's show, we'd like to welcome to our studios a musician who's been creating music for a number of years now, and she's working on a new project and a new album that is coming out very soon. Leslie Cours Mather is with us in Washington, D.C. Your first time in D.C.?
No. I've been here many times, but, you know, it's always good to come back. It's been a while. It has been a while.
The kids, your family?
My kids are here. My whole family is here.
The whole family?
Yeah, got everybody.
Extended family?
The extended family is here, and my kids have not been here before, so... We did the Pentagon yesterday. We're doing the whole tour. We're doing the White House, you know.
Man, are they enjoying D.C. so far?
They're learning. You know, yes, they are enjoying it. But they're also challenged, you know, at having to keep their brains going on a vacation. So.
Now, you're quite international, having grown up in Singapore and living all around the United States.
I was born into an Army family, and so, you know, you're stationed around a lot. I was on base, off base. Like you, my dad was a big golfer, so every time we moved, he looked for the golf course to live on, and that was really fun. And fun in the winter for me because you'd sled down the the hill to the bunker. But yeah, so born in Singapore, and then from there lived in the United States, but all around.
And how has the travel and the living in different places influenced your music?
Oh, it's really influenced my music. It's been like an identity crisis for me, you know, trying to figure out who I am and what I really... you know, where I fit in, but it really has. It's been like soul searching for me to find that one thing that I am. But I actually like that, you know, I can, Linda Ronstadt's one of my big influences, and she was, I believe, very much like that. She did some country, you know, light opera, she did pop, she did big band, and so I like to follow in her footsteps in that way.
And people also compare you to Linda Ronstadt.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
so,
a lot of pressure.
She really, well, that's true. Yeah. Well, I'm not really like Linda Ronstadt. I like Linda Ronstadt. She really was an influence on me. She was one of the first singers that I heard as a kid. My dad played her album, and not only her voice, but then just the power and the not being willing to be put in a box. I was really drawn to that from a young age. Are
you on tour right now for the new music?
Yeah, well, we will be going on tour for the new album, which is coming out in about a month. So now I'm doing various things. I have a kidney walk tour, a National Kidney Foundation tour that's coming up next. And that's right now 3 2, let's see, LA Kidney Walk, what's it called? Irvine Kidney Walk, and then Las Vegas.
And kidneys, that's a subject matter that's very, very close to you. You are a kidney transplant patient.
I am, yeah. A couple years ago. It'll be, in fact, the day that the album is coming out, September 27th, is my 2-year kidney transplant anniversary. Wow. The album's called I'm a Survivor. And the whole story really for me was that I was healthy. I've never had any diagnoses, any diseases, anything. No, it doesn't run in the family. And went to the doctor thinking I had a cough. I couldn't breathe. I was tired. I thought I was tired from being on the road. And they said, you're staying, your kidneys have failed. They actually said, I'm telling on myself here, but they said, you've got renal failure. And I said, where's my renal? Because I had no idea what kidney failure was all about.
Sure.
And, so now I've learned a lot about it, and now I'm on the, you know, kind of on the path to really spread awareness and get with the National Kidney Foundation and help them any way I can to spread awareness. My brother donated his kidney to me. So he's one of my heroes, and you know, and it really is an amazing thing that you can do, and still he goes on and lives his life and doesn't have to take any medication. He's healthy as can be. So you can do that. You can donate a kidney to somebody I was on dialysis for 9 months, and you really do feel trapped in a chair. You can't do a whole lot, you know, 3 days a week in dialysis. And there are people who, I was 9 months, there are people who are 10 years waiting for a kidney, you know.
Right.
So,
I read today in the paper where now they're actually starting to give patients kidneys with hepatitis C and things like that, where they can actually treat and cure the illness so that you can go on healthy, and it gives more options, more opportunities for many.
Well, and with
patients
more
in need.
awareness, it's amazing how quickly the technology is growing. You know, they're working on 3D printing of kidneys to give people, and crazy stuff like that, where
Organs?
your heart somehow is your
Oh, my
battery
goodness.
that powers the kidney, and I don't have any idea how it works, but it sounds amazing.
Wow. Well, we're happy you're in our studios, and
Thank
we're
you.
happy you are a survivor.
Me too.
And so we're going to ask you to do a live song for us, if you wouldn't mind, and we'll chat some more about your story. I'm a Survivor.
In fact, I'd love to sing "I'm a Survivor" for you.
Oh,
And,
great.
and that's the title of the album as well. So
All
if you guys are up for that, we'll do "I'm a Survivor."
I'm a
Leslie
survivor.
Cours Mather.
Yes.
A 1, 2, 3, and.
Never thought I'd ever hear the words I heard them say. Made me cry, but I am not alone, no, no. Words like that send shivers through the body, through the soul. The unknown, yeah, it chills you to the bone. But I'm going on, I'm not looking back. I'll be down on my knees, I can promise you that. When I hold on to you, will you let me hold tighter? Don't know what we'll do, don't know what we'll see. I don't know what to say, I just know how to breathe and to think. I never knew I was a fighter, but I'm a survivor. I could cry, I could sit here staring, wondering why. I could laugh, I could scream, I could run, I could hide, think of thousands of things. But I'm going on, I'm not looking back. I'll be down on my knees, I can promise you that. When I hold on to you, will you let me hold tighter? Don't know what we'll do, don't know what we'll see. I don't know what to say, I just know how to breathe and to think. I never knew I was a fighter, but I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Yeah, I'm going on, I'm not looking back. I'll be down on my knees, I can promise you that. When I hold on to you, will you let me hold tighter, tighter? Yeah, I'm going on, I'm not looking back. I'll be down on my knees, I can promise you that. When I hold on to you, will you let me hold tighter? Don't know what we'll do, don't know what we'll see. I don't know what to say, I just know how to breathe and to think. I never knew I was a fighter, but I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely song. Leslie Cours Mather here on Border Crossings on the Voice of America. I'm a Survivor, the album, and the song you just sang.
Yes.
Obviously, it stirs up emotions. There's a lot of things
does.
that went into creating that song and inspiring that song. And
Yeah.
you've overcome quite a few different challenges, shall we say, in the last few
Definitely.
years.
Yeah, yeah. And even more, honestly, what inspired the song was somebody else's challenge. And then as I wrote the song, Buddy was one person and my producer was another that said, well, that's your story. And I said, yeah, it actually is. I was just kind of trying to push that away and think about somebody else because it's very emotional. But what that allowed me to really realize is how many survivors of so many different stories there are. And so this song is very relatable. You know, really, I wrote it and we produced it right after the Las Vegas massacre. And I was thinking, now, there's a story of surviving, right? And so that just kind of, my brain went from there to so many other things. And there's so many people that have a story of whatever it might be. It could be health, it could be divorce, it could be anything. You know?
Everybody's facing a struggle and a challenge. My goodness, and you read the news, you watch TV these days, there's always some tragedy or disaster. So.
Right. So my desire is always to bring hope and to bring, you know, a silver lining to things and you know, inspire.
As a parent, you also faced a huge challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, your child was diagnosed with a very scary disease.
Yeah, that was really the inspiration for the song. It was my daughter Stephanie was 4. I have 3 kids. She's my middle. And again, out of the blue, I get this diagnosis. She's got leukemia. And when I was a kid, leukemia was not a it was a death sentence, right? It was not a prognosis that was going to be good. And now, especially with childhood leukemia, the doctor sat us down and he said, if she meets all the criteria we need her to meet, she's got a 90% chance of complete cure. And that's exactly what happened. She's a sassy, you know, feisty,
Wonderful.
smart, energetic, healthy 15-year-old girl today. And but I watched her go through it and the strength that she went through. And that's where that fighter part of the song came from is, you know, my daughter would face needles and all kinds of crazy stuff just head on. Just give it to me. I don't care, you know. And it was really inspiring to me.
It's awesome. It's inspiring to anybody, I'm sure, who hears that story. And I guess that's the story you're telling with the album, I'm a Survivor. So are all the songs about struggles and overcoming struggles? Or what's the idea behind the whole album?
They're really not, and yet I guess they probably are. I wasn't thinking of it that way when I wrote the songs, but they all my songs, my heart is always to inspire people. And so all the songs and the other songs we're doing today really do have that sort of, come on, you can do this kind of a fight song thing about them for sure. Yeah.
What's been the highlight for you so far?
All of, do you mean this week? Or do
no,
you mean
well,
like
today,
life?
this week, and in life. All of the above.
Oh, highlight this week was
Your
the Pentagon. Highlight in the career, I think it's working with these guys in Nashville. And I live in LA, and I've worked with a lot of musicians in LA, but there's a different culture in Nashville. I actually moved out to LA from Nashville, went to Vanderbilt, and I was there working on Music Row, and then moved out to LA because my husband works at Warner Brothers, and so that's where we're stationed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the film business. But working at Blackbird, which is a studio owned by Martina McBride and John McBride, and it's just a cool space to be in, and it just feels very much like being at home away from home, you know, and these guys are the best there is. I mean, the best.
So who are they? Let's meet them.
Yeah. Why don't you, are you guys okay with introducing yourselves, Sean?
Yeah, my name's Sean Richardson from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice
Play
to
guitar.
meet you.
Yeah, great
to be
guitar
here.
player.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then Duncan Mullins.
Duncan Mullins, yeah. Born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, yes. And I've been doing the studio thing primarily since about 1990 or so.
Yeah, he's fun.
Wow. You must have a lot of stories to tell. Nashville
few,
studio
yes.
sessions. Woo.
And then Buddy, my band leader, Buddy here, Buddy Hyatt.
That's right. My name's Buddy Hyatt, and I'm Leslie's friend first and her band leader second.
Very nice. So I read where your producer has worked with Barbra Streisand and Neil
Denny
Diamond.
Deontay. Yeah. He's pretty much done it all. He's inspiring to be around as well, and he's got lots and lots of stories. He's been told many times he should write a book, and he said, if I wrote a book, I'd have to leave the country. So
Wow.
he said, maybe I'll write it, and then after I'm gone or something, you can, you know, find someone to
Well, that's
publish
great
it.
that you've got such a strong production team behind
It
you.
is.
Great musicians.
It's very
and
inspiring.
producers.
Yeah, it's
kinda-
creatively inspiring. It's the juices going easily.
And 5 albums in 3 years?
Yeah,
What did I
well,
read? What's that about?
I think it was the identity crisis. So we have, you know, the country section, and then we have, this is the pop AC, pop adult contemporary, and then we've got contemporary Christian, which is a part of who I am as well. And then we had this whole acoustic thing that happened and decided to make an album out of that as well. And Am I forgetting one? Was that 5? That was 4. Oh, and then a Christmas album that's coming out this year.
Wow. Is it, do you think it can kind of blur the lines if you do so many different genres of music?
I hope so, in a
You
good
hope
way.
so.
I
That's
hope
what
it
you
blurs
want.
the lines in a good way.
Okay.
Because I just have never wanted to be put in a specific box. You
All
know,
right.
I just love good music. I really do. And I have a hard time sticking with one thing. It's like trying new foods, you know. You
Right.
like this for a while, then you like this for a while. And
And the song you just sang, I'm a Survivor, I guess it did very well on the adult
did.
contemporary charts.
apparently
I read,
it did
so.
really well. Yeah, I think it was in top 20 or something like that.
Outstanding.
So,
Congratulations.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. So you're excited the new album's coming out.
I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm excited to get it out finally, and then promote, you know, the whole kidney, you know, thing as well, and just bring awareness. Really,
We're going to talk more with Leslie Cours Mathers as we go, and if you wouldn't mind doing another song, I would
Sure.
like to hear some more music. What are you going to sing for
Yeah,
us?
let's do "Roll with It,"
Roll with it.
and I wrote this song for my daughter.
And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Listen, I heard what you said. You let someone get inside of your head. You carried it around till it got you down, all because of something they said. You let them own you, and they don't even know you. They only said it was true. Now you believed a lie when you let it inside. I know exactly what you're going through. Words can cut you right to the bone. Words have no power on their own. They can't tell you who you are when you already know. So just let go and just roll with it. Da 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 da. You gotta just roll with it. Da 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 da. I know, right? It's easy to say, let them hurt you, then just walk away. Look, I never said it was an easy scene. I said knowing who you are is a powerful thing. They don't own you, they don't even know you. Don't give them the power to choose. Know what you're about, then don't doubt. Words can hurt you when you know the truth. Words can cut you right to the bone. Words have no power on their own. They can't tell you who you are when you already know. So just let go and just roll with it. Da 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 da. You gotta just roll with it. Da 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 da. Words can cut you right to the bone, but words have no power on their own. They can't tell you who you are when you already know. So just let go. Come on. Words can cut you right to the bone, but words have no power on their own. They can't tell you who you are when you already know. So just let go and just roll with it. Da 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 da. You gotta just roll with it. Da 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 da. So just roll with it. Da 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 da. Just roll with it. Da 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 da. You gotta just roll with it.
Right. Leslie Cours Mather.
Thank you.
Right here on The Voice of America. So what lane do you feel most comfortable in? If you do a variety of different genres, if you had to pick one.
I think country is where I really feel the most comfortable. I always have. The critics have sometimes said not country enough, and I'm okay with that because, you know.
Really? Interesting.
But I grew up really drawn to country music all my life, no matter where I lived. So it just felt like I was very patriotic growing up, and it just feels like America to me.
And did you make a film or a series of films or documentaries?
Yeah.
And called Countrified?
Countrified,
Yeah.
and that's so I have a song called Countrified. It was my first single, and it was country, obviously. And the whole story was that I'm living in LA, but I'm countrified. I'm a country music girl living in a big city, and so it's a reality series. We follow me, my family, just our life and what it's like to, kind of live in both worlds and all the worlds combine. And it's a pretty entertaining series. I didn't realize my family was that entertaining until I watched it. So,
do you see a future in music for your kids? Is there?
Oh yeah. So my 17-year-old daughter, she's her first love is dance, and so her music, she writes, she sings, she plays the drums, she programs music digitally in the computer, and her music's very danceable music, pop. And then my middle one, Stephanie, she's ukulele player, and she plays acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and she's just a whole different style, kind of Ed Sheeran and very all natural,
And you're
she
preparing
dances as
her
well.
for what the realities of this business are, because they can be.
They
kinda
definitely
harsh,
see the realities. Their dad works in Hollywood and I work in music, and they see the realities day in and day out, and so they see the ups and the downs already. So I think they're prepared just from the reality of it all in the house, in the household. It's not glamorous. It's a lot of work, a lot of work.
Maybe they can try American Idol or The Voice. Or
Yeah, well, I've got one that's working towards America's Got Talent. She's already planning her act out.
Well, look at that. I mentioned it to him when I saw him at the door, and
oh, you did?
Yeah, it's ironic.
Yeah,
they're really trying.
That's exactly what she's going for.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
look
cool.
at that. We're on the same page.
Yeah, we are.
Is there something that you haven't done yet that you want to do or try? A different genre, a different kind of music?
Well, I want to tour Europe. In fact, Buddy and I were just talking. We have a possibility of going to Europe in December, and so we're hoping that comes through because that's something I haven't done yet. And my songs have been played over there, and I'd love to get in that circuit of live touring. So,
is there anybody you want to work with that is on your wish list that you're telling Denny or somebody that you say, well, I'd like to record with so and so? Or
oh gosh, that's a hard one. I don't. It would have been people who are no longer recording. Linda Ronstadt would have been amazing.
Right.
And she's no longer recording.
Right. She has Parkinson's?
I believe she has Parkinson's, yeah. We did do one of her songs in tribute to her. It's on the album. It's Blue Bayou. And we had the original, Dan Dugmore was the original steel player on her album. And he was actually very emotional when we did the song. And then we gave him the solo on steel to nod to her and honor her. So she probably would be the one.
She'd be the one if you could.
If I could.
Wow. So tell me about the fires in Los Angeles, because that's something that people want to know. As you're living in L.A. and we keep watching the news.
Yeah,
and
a lot of those are northern. In fact, probably about near your house, right?
In Redding, California.
Redding, and that's pretty. How
Way
close
up
is that
north.
to? Yeah,
Well,
yeah. And I just heard yesterday. I think it's the largest on California record, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, scary.
Very scary,
Very,
and you
very
never know.
scary.
I mean, they flare up so quickly. It's so dry, and the wind and the heat and everything is just like, we say we have 4 seasons, and one of them is fire season. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
Are you on tour at any time soon? I say, you want to go to Europe, but are you on tour right now?
So we are planning. The first tour we're doing is the Kidney Tour circuit, Kidney Walk Tour circuit.
And what is that about?
So
Explain that.
Kidney Walk is a fundraiser for raising awareness for kidney disease, and the National Kidney Foundation puts it on. So they've been kind enough to ask me to do first the Irvine Kidney Walk, and then we're going to do the Los Angeles Kidney Walk. So Irvine, I believe, is October or September. Los Angeles is October, and then November is Las Vegas. So that'll be a little cooler in November to do the kidney walk.
Your kids probably told you Selena Gomez also had a kidney
She did.
transplant,
I know.
so
They said you should call her and you should go on tour with her. And
that would be awesome.
that would be awesome.
To promote
yeah.
kidney
now that
awareness.
she's not with Justin Bieber anymore. It'd be a little more, I don't know.
We're talking with Leslie Cours Mather, who has a new album. How many albums have you put out over the years?
Well, over the years, it's been mostly singles with this
Okay.
producer, with Denny. Since I've switched to working with Denny, which was a couple years ago, we ended up doing a whole bunch of songs and then put out several singles, and now we're putting them into album form. So it's really a singles time, It's a little harder to do an album these days. People don't go to the record store anymore. You might go to Walmart or Target or something, but it's a little easier just to do the singles. But I personally love the whole body of work and the story that it tells. And so we've decided just recently, okay, we're going to categorize these into 5 albums, and they're coming out now. So
And you're self-funded?
I'm an independent artist.
Wow.
So
Well, that gives you more control.
it gives me a lot of control. I can, creative control and financial control. I, own everything I sell, but it's a lot harder. The exposure is a little harder,
Right.
a little harder to throw money at the production and the promotion and the, all
That's
of
an
that.
expensive machine.
It's very expensive, but I do it because I love the music,
right.
more than anything else. So
And you're doing some great music.
Thank you.
I mean, I love
Thank
your
you.
voice.
Thank you.
You classically trained, or how did you develop?
Originally not, and then funny enough, I went to Vanderbilt, which is in Nashville, because I wanted to be a country music singer. Got into Vanderbilt, auditioned, got in, and then they told me when I like my first week of school, no pop singing, nothing but opera. And I, again, like with the renal thing, what's opera?
Right,
You know, what do
opera?
you mean? And I kind of liked it, although I was rebelling quite a bit. I would go off campus to do, Music Row. I went out to, act and do things off campus. Went over to Belmont for a while, which is more pop. So yeah, I had some classical training. And then after that, I just tried to break all the rules. But I kind of use them both. And I like to do musical theater as well, Broadway stuff. And it comes in handy for that,
You still doing
So-
acting?
When I can, I am. Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love acting. I love doing even just the music videos that we do for the songs, because you can become a character in each video for, 3-minute character. It's fun.
Maybe you'll want to score a movie or something. Or write music for
That
something.
sounds painful. It sounds so heady. I don't know. I like to throw my ideas out and let people clean it up. I'm messy. Yeah. My son might. My son's very calculated, and I think he's got perfect pitch. He doesn't believe me, but he does. And
Wow.
he really doesn't have any interest. I think he's in the control room,
Right.
probably laughing.
We
at
need
me.
a whole
He's
family
hiding from me.
act.
Yeah. We're a family
the
affair.
Swiss family. Or the,
Yeah. We're the Partridge family. We're the Mather family.
The Mather family.
Yeah.
All right. Well, would you do another song for us?
Yeah, we'll do another song, of course. This one's called "Moving On."
Moving on.
A 2, a 1, 2, 3, and.
I'll shake the dust from my feet and start again, that's what I'll do. I'll turn around and I'll leave and walk away, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm moving on, I'm letting go, moving on down a new road, with my face turned toward the sun, knowing what's done is done.
great.
Thank you.
Sounding great. Leslie Cours Mather. And Moving On? Is that what
Moving
it's called?
On.
Moving On. And that's off the new album?
That
I'm a
is
Survivor?
off the new album, yes.
And the album is coming out.
September 27th, I believe, is the official date.
All right.
It's called I'm a Survivor.
People can get it on Amazon, iTunes, and
Absolutely,
how about your
everywhere.
website?
Yeah, my website is lesliecoursmather.com.
That's great.
Yeah,
And you have been such a positive person throughout all these challenges. What
you.
has been the secret? What
Humor.
advice? Humor? That's the big advice?
Definitely humor.
To people who are facing struggles and challenges?
Yeah, well, and not just, I mean, that's making light of it, but really just, having a good support system and friends and family and people allowing you to be real, too. It's important to be real.
All right. And I know you've got a holiday album coming out, too.
I do. It's called Home for Christmas, I believe.
Home for
Yes.
Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So come back and see us when you're...
Sounds good.
putting
I'd
out the
love
new
to.
album. Love to have you back. Thank you very much
Thanks,
for coming
Larry.
on.
I appreciate it.
Nice to meet all you guys. The music sounds great. I'm a Survivor. That's the name of the new album. It's Leslie Cours Mather. I'm Larry London. This is Border Crossings.